Hello, once again, and welcome to another episode of My Thoughts On, the series in which I analyze a variety of topics and ideas of my interest in order for me to hopefully captivate you, the audience, and provide you with a fresh and new perspective on the world around you. Now, in my very first installment in this series, I took a closer look at the word incentives. But in this episode, I'm going to delve a little deeper into the abyss known as your vocabulary, and I will take a closer look at another word, introvert, and I will take you inside the mind of an introvert, such as myself. So, if you think you may be introverted, or if you know someone who might be introverted, I think you'll find this video quite entertaining. So, why don't we start with the burning question of the day? What the heck is an introvert? Well, to help me with this, here is my friend Bob. Bob is an introvert. Bob likes to relax alone or with a few close friends. As you can clearly see, he appears calm, self-contained. He likes to observe. He likes to pick out little details that people often don't notice. People sometimes think he's quiet or just weird, but in truth, he's very sensitive and he can zone out easily, or he can feel overstimulated if there's too much going on around him. So, if you're anything like my friend Bob, you are an introvert. Yeah, that's really cute. Bob, you can go away now. Anyway, there's so many ways that you can describe an introvert, but those I just mentioned are only a few. But the simplest way to put it is that introverts are energized and stimulated by their internal world of ideas and emotions. Now, to put that in plain English, introverts basically like a lot of time alone or with a close friend. Like my friend Bob. And in general, social gatherings or other types of activity tend to drain their energy. So what introverts like is a lot of alone time, a lot of breaks to recharge their batteries. On the complete opposite side of the spectrum, there are extroverts who are stimulated by activity and people and places. And extroverts tire very easily from spending time alone or not getting out there and doing stuff. Now, there's tons of misconceptions about the word introvert. People often associate it with shyness or being antisocial, but they are in fact completely different ideas. It's not true necessarily that introverts don't like other people or that they are shy. In fact, introverts exhibit great friendly qualities because they listen and they can focus really well, and they tend to establish deeper connections with people that they consider their friends. I myself am introverted. If you're introverted yourself, the bad news is 3 out of every 4 people in the world are extroverted. So the world is basically built for them. And because of that, they tend to make assumptions about us introverts. Like, we don't like people and that we are loners. And that makes life a little bit tougher for guys like me. And for some introverts, that really takes over them. And they start to think that they're weird or diseased or something. But the good news is there's nothing wrong with being introverted. In fact, the world's most creative and inspirational thinkers are and were introverted. So what I'm hoping all of you introverts get out by the end of this video is that what you have is a gift. And basically the world is not complete without introverts. Whew, alright, well, now with all that psychological mumbo-jumbo out of the way, now I can start getting into really what my thoughts are on this topic, how being introverted has affected me in my life, and, ultimately how I cope with it. Because after all, I am an introvert living in an extroverted world. I am a minority. So, as you could probably imagine, being introverted has had a huge effect on my social life, and it was my first year of high school when I realized this, simply because high school is when cliques start to form. You get the nerds, the bandies, the jocks, the Asians, the stoners, etc., etc. And then there's me. And as everyone started to differentiate into their own little groups, I feel like even to this day, and I'm a senior now, by the way, that I've never found my own niche in my school. I've never had a place, in like a little group. And this is just the nature of being an introvert. I prefer to keep to myself or with the few close friends I have. We introverts don't feel comfortable around people we don't have deep connections with, and overall social encounters tend to drain our energy. But in freshman year, I was kind of depressed I was just kind of depressed, not because, I didn't have enough friends, but rather I was depressed because the way things were shaping up, I thought something was wrong with me. My mom would call me antisocial all the time, and she would get disappointed whenever I would spend entire weekends at home just chilling, and she'd try really hard just to get me out of the house. But this kind of annoyed me because I was, totally cool with being able to chill at my house for a whole weekend. That's how I recharge my batteries after a whole week of social stimulation, 5 days in a row of school and whatnot. But she's an extrovert, and that's a totally natural reaction for someone like her when she's confronted with an introvert. She doesn't get her energy by getting her me time. She gets her energy by people and places and being active and whatnot. Now, keep in mind, 3 out of every 4 people are extroverted, and when you're a minority, people will make inconsiderate assumptions about you. But when I was a little freshman, coming into this new high school scene, I had no idea what the heck an introvert or an extrovert was. But I really got down because my emotions got this grip on me, because I felt like I needed to be like everyone else. I felt like I needed to be extroverted and, in my own little niche. But what got me out of this mindset and to where I am today is knowing that I am introverted and that there's no way of fixing that. Now, I know that sounds kind of odd, but the truth is that being introverted is just as much a good thing as it is not so much a good thing. So just remember that life is all about playing towards who you are as a person, being yourself. When you start thinking there's something wrong with you, or that you need to be extroverted and outgoing like everyone else out there, you need to be going out every Friday night with your little group of friends, if that's what you want to call them, well, that's when you don't accept yourself. So the first step for all of you innies out there is to realize that you have a unique quality. So to wrap things up, I leave you with this quote from a Renaissance dude named Erasmus. I just discovered this lately. He says, quote, "It is the chiefest point of happiness that a man is willing to be what he is." That's basically the essence of this whole discussion. When I was a freshman, I thought I needed to be something I'm not, and I ended up feeling depressed as shit because there's nothing I could do about my temperament. So just remember to stay real, be yourself. And that just about wraps up this episode of My Thoughts On. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have anything to share, feel free to leave a little something in the comment section. We're all friends here, We're a friendly community of interweb users. But anyway, this has been Pizza, and I'll see you in the next episode of My Thoughts On. Thanks for watching.